Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is my fourth take, so bear with me now. So I'm just gonna quicken everything up. This is a birthday special for my birthday. My birthday is in a couple of hours, so I'll probably upload this at 1 a.m, 12 a.m. I'm not sure. Kind of depends on my mood, so anyways, if you hear noises, it's my sister in the background. Yeah. This, I chose it myself. If you didn't know, in my last video, I asked y'all to pick one-shots, My Hero Academia one-shots for me to choose. And I said that I'd choose the best one and I'd read it as a birthday special. But the fact that I didn't get any requests, so I just chose one. Happy early birthday for me. So, yeah. I know it's weird, but I chose an angst one as for my birthday special. Don't ask me why, I just chose it. The book's name is You Stole My Heart, sir. The one-shot name is Accident. The author's name is on the screen because I can't read it and I'm not going to attempt to because I can't. Warning, cursing. It is an angry todoroki ex-reader. I don't know if I'm going to actually edit it this time. I don't know if I'm going to be editing it since I'm really not in the mood right now. But yeah. Maybe I'll edit it later. Anyway, I'm just gonna start. Yeah. Okay. Accident. He hurt you. You still couldn't process what you had done wrong. Only moments ago, you were in his room, trying to calm him down. Only moments ago, you were smiling with every other emotion, besides overwhelming sadness. Todoroki did have a temper at times, but he would never lash out. Never. He didn't want to be like his father. That's why you were so worried. What got him so worked up that caused him to lash out and hurt you? Around half an hour ago. Wandering down the hall to your boyfriend's room, you looked at your phone. You scanned the previous texts the two of you encountered, your most recent ones still not answered. Usually, Todoroki would message back, so of course you'd be worried of his lacking of reply. Once outside his dorm, you knocked gently. Who is it? You sighed in relief at the monotone sound of his voice from the other side of the door. Woyan. Hearing a small grunt, you opened the door, immediately noticing he looked distressed for whatever reason. Shoto? Watching as he paced the room, you closed the door behind you as you stepped further into the room. Are you alright? He continued pacing up and down the room. You walked over to him, placing your hands on his arms to stop him from pacing. You wanted him to know you were here. You knew he wasn't usually one to tell others his problems, but the two of you were mutual. Each of your problems were the other's. Woyan, Todoroki said lowly, staring into your eye-colored eyes as you removed your hands from his arms. He watched you as you smiled softly up at him. You know I'm here to talk to you, right? Todoroki stood up straighter, lifting his head up slightly so he was peering down at you. I'm here for you, you reassured. It's just nice to have company sometimes. You snagged your arms around him, feeling him stiffen. He was not in the mood right now. He was like a ticking bomb about to go off any minute. Yet, you were oblivious. He tried to get out of your grip, but failed as you tightened around him more. Just stay here, Shoto, you said softly, leaning your head on his chest. I don't want to hug you right now, Woyan, he warned quietly, still trying to pry you off to no avail. You looked up at him. But I'm trying to help. Todoroki's face grimaced. Well, you're not. You could feel your heart sink as his words came out. But just, leave me alone. In a sudden movement, Todoroki pushed you off him right into the side of his desk. Stop being so needy all the damn time. I don't need your help, alright? Just go away. Your hand darted to your side. That was definitely going to bruise later on. Silence fell after his loud outburst. Todoroki had never yelled at you before. The words that seeped out of his mouth each hit you like a brick, insecurities of yours smashing into you one after another. Yet Todoroki stood his secure ground. That was until he realized his actions. His eyes widened. Wayan, I'm sorry, It's alright. His heterochromic eyes flickered at the sight of the side of your t-shirt that was changing color a little. You're bleeding. After a few steps of walking towards you, you stopped him. Simply by holding your hand out, you repeated your words. It's alright, Shoto. Todoroki's eyes wavered at your smile and soft voice. Shouldn't you be angry at him? Pissed? Mad? Why were you smiling at him so kindly? He watched as you began leaving the room. Wayan, wait a sec. Shoto. He stopped in his tracks yet again. I'm going to leave you alone to cool down, okay? Behind the smile, he knew you were on the brink of tears. The way your nose was turning slightly red and voice was wavering was a simple sign to him. What's worse is he caused it. He could feel the guilt building up inside of him as you left, leaving him alone, just like he asked. As soon as you got to your room, you shut the door. You fell to your knees crying. You knew you were sensitive and weak. It was eating you up inside. Emotions would always hit you head on. Heck, you'd take things literally all the time, without meaning to. Insults especially. Other people would brush them off and not let them bother them. And you tried so hard to do that. But having the person you love the most yell at you and target you, it wasn't nice. So you sat there, one hand grabbing your shirt over your heart and the other clasping your side. I was only trying to help, you choked out to yourself, aware that no one could hear you. I'm sorry, Shoto. You scrunched your top tighter, making your knuckles go white as soft sobs escaped your lips. You never wanted to seem needy. It was one of the things that you heavily disliked. People would always comment on how you're always there and needed attention, and it wasn't your fault. What's wrong with wanting or giving others affection? You made your loved one feel even more upset and frustrated after trying to help, which just made everything worse. It's all my fault. Your breathing, hitching, could be seen in your chest, your whole body trembling as you cried. Every now and then, you would take a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, watching as the little makeup you had ran down your cheeks along with your salty tears. It was silly. It was silly that one simple thing could turn into this mess. Everything you seemed to do didn't work out, and the many times you tried and give up, but you never did. When it came to Todoroki, the challenges were no different. With his monotonous, unpredictable behavior, no one could have expected you to be Shoto Todoroki's quirkless girlfriend, especially those who knew about his father and his demand for powerful quirks. But Todoroki did love you. He loved you so much. And he was hurting. He was hurting so bad that he caused you pain. He cursed under his breath, tears getting cautiously close to spilling as he latched onto his dual locks in a type of coping mechanism. He didn't mean to yell at you. He didn't mean to tell you to go away or to tell you you were needy. He didn't mean to push you. He liked your hugs. Heck, he'd give anything to be able to hug you as long as he could. But he messed up, and he knew it. present time. Laying down on your stomach, you were looking at your phone screen, where Todoroki had been messaging you, apologies upon apologies, attempting for you to go and see him. You wanted to give in. You really did, but you didn't want to risk getting hurt again, especially in such short space of time. You knew you should have given him space, so now you were going to give him space. With a mild reply to him of, I think it's best of you if you're alone for a little bit. You plopped your phone onto your pillow and dropped your head into the soft blankets that lay on your bed. The dorm room was quiet, only a few mumbles of classmates in the distance to be heard from outside, and yet you felt as if you were being overpowered by noise that wasn't even there. With a sigh, you decided to clean up previous mess. Tissues and makeup wipes scattered the floor from where your breakdown had undergone. One by one, you picked the pieces up and threw them into the bin, cursing as if you didn't quite make it. Your actions of putting your last tissue in the bin was interrupted by a soft knock at the door. Heart leaping into your throat, you spoke gently. Who is it? It's me, Sully. Sighing in relief, you walked to the door to let your pink-haired friend in. Hey, Mina. Oshido took one look at you, eyebrows creasing as she looked at your puffy eyes. In a swift move, she closed the door and wrapped her arms around you. Hey, what's up? Her voice was calm enough for your tears to emerge again, but you physically couldn't shed any more tears. You spoke quietly. Me and Shoto had a fight. What? Oshido's hands now lay on top of your shoulders, locking eyes with yours. What happened? You dropped your head down slightly so you looked at your own feet. He didn't answer my messages, so I went to check up on him, and noticing he was tense, so I decided to help him, and then he accidentally pushed me. You cringed slightly at the pressure on your shoulders slightly. He pushed you? Oshido quirked an eyebrow, anger covering her entire face. Did he hurt you? It was an accident. I got pushed into his desk and my sock got caught and... You winced as she lifted your top to see your deeply gazed side. You watched as Oshido's eyes mixed with anger and sadness. Oh, Ayan. She looked up at you sympathetically. Come with me. Complying to holding her hand, you made your way out of your dorm towards the kitchen, listening to Oshido's instructions to sit on the counter. You watched her grab an ice pack and fumble around in the first aid kit. She came up to you, placing her supplies down. Step by step, she began healing the wound, apologizing at every wince you made. You watched her at work as she wrapped a bandage around your torso after applying a sort of plaster. It seemed a bit much for the injury, but you were grateful regardless. Oshido sighed, placing her hands on her hips. What are we going to do about that boy? She muttered angrily as she looked you up and down. Her eyes shifted back up to yours. Do you love him? Mina, you know he wouldn't hurt me on purpose. I know. She ran her hands through her hair, and down the back of her neck. You bit your lip as you looked down at your side. I do love him. I love him so much. More than anything. But... You felt your throat close slightly. I just wish he'd tell me how to help him, instead of giving me the smallest of signs that I can't see. You closed your eyes, taking a deep breath. You had to fix this. You would fix this, somehow. Todoroki was difficult, and you knew that, getting into this whole relationship. He was your world, and you couldn't bear to think what he was thinking right now. Unlike what others may assume from his cold attire, you knew he was in a state. And in a state he was, pacing backwards and forwards in his room for what felt like hours, Hands still clutching his hair, he couldn't prevent the shaky sigh that escaped his lips, nor the tears that spilled from his eyes. The look on your face when he pushed you, your quiet, gentle voice, your throbbing side. He couldn't take the silence anymore.
Damn it!
Without another word, he stomped out of his room, hand in phone with your recent messages to him on display. He had to apologize more than on a text. He needed to see you in person, and there was nothing, not anything that was going to get in his way. He made his way to your dorm room, standing stiff in front of your door as his fist hovered in the air. Just as he was about to knock, a small voice sounded. Shoto? It was surprising he didn't gain a whiplash from the speed he turned his head to you. Wayan, he breathed out as he turned to face you completely. Look, Can we talk about this somewhere else? He watched as your gaze went from his to your feet in a quick movement. Sure. Moving out of the way so you could open your door, he noticed the redness in your eyes and the slight puffiness to them. Following you inside, his breath caught in his throat as he saw your bin almost overflowing, tissues and used makeup wipes peeking over the top. He bit his lip, shifting his gaze back over to you as he stood stiffly. His mouth was dry, his eyes were stinging, and his heart hurt. He hasn't ever felt this way, and it hurt. It hurt badly. Look, his heterochromic orbs watched you as you shuffled on your feet. I don't know what's wrong, and you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to, okay? Just please tell me if you're alright or not. He bit his tongue as he saw your tears glossing over again. Woyan, you interrupted him. If you don't want me to hug you, you need to tell me. If you don't want me to comfort you, you need to tell me. If you don't want me around you, you need to tell me. He watched as tears slipped down your cheeks, each word you spoke stabbing him in the heart. You need to tell me. I'm not a fucking mind reader, Shoto. He stood still as you yelled at him. He couldn't even blame you. You can't just expect me to know what you're thinking. You need to tell me if you don't need me to be around. You need to tell me if you need space, not ignore my texts so I get super worried and try to help you. You choked out. He went to step forward, stopping himself as he realized even you weren't stopping him. Wayan, you need to tell me things. For the first time in this whole ordeal, you actually looked at him in the eyes. Not the floor, not the bed, not your soft blankets. Him. I'm sorry. He internally cursed as his voice broke. I was such an ass. I don't know how I expected you to know what I was thinking. That's absurd, and I'm so sorry, okay? I shouldn't have yelled at you. I shouldn't have pushed you. I shouldn't have hurt you. He inhaled deeply, lowering his head as his shoulder trembled. I was just mad because of my father, and I took it out on you. I had no right to do any of that to you, and I'm sorry, Wayan. The way his voice softly spoke your name made your heart crack. He truly was sorry, and you knew it. You could see it through body and soul. You could see he was breaking at the seams, already dreading your answer to his words. Knowing him, you had the assumption that he thought you were going to leave him. Like hell I'm going to leave. I appreciate your apology, Shoto. You spoke gently, smiling at him, with a weak smile. Hesitantly, you outstretched your arms to him. A small giggle escaped through your lips as his eyes widened at your gesture. He dove into your arms and held onto you like you were fading away. You focused on his fast heartbeat and his hitching chest as he silently cried into your shoulder. It's okay, baby. Gently, you brushed your fingers through his hair in a calming manner. I never wanted to hurt you. You sighed at his quiet voice. You were mad. I just happened to be there at the wrong place at the wrong time. You said gently as you continued your soothing movements. No, you were there at the right place at the right time, he argued lightly as he pulled you back to look you in the eyes, hand on your shoulders. I was just too much of an asshole to notice that. You cupped his face in your hands, wiping away the tears with your thumbs, him doing the same to you. Promise you'll let me help you next time, you whispered as you pressed your forehead to his. With glassy eyes, Todoroki nodded, kissing your nose gently. I promise. You moved your face upwards a little, giving him access to your lips, which he gladly kissed. It was gentle and soft. You could almost cry at the gentleness he put into it. I love you, Shoto, you whispered as you wrapped your arms around him. He sighed as he placed his chin on your head. I love you too, baby. And that's it. Finally. It was so long, but I love it so much. It's so sweet. Hope you enjoyed this birthday special. It took me so long to record this, and I got interrupted, but I'm going to edit that out. I don't care. I'm not redoing that. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.